For a long time, going to therapy or seeing a counselor has been a stigma. Some people have seen it as a sign of weakness and that we should just be able to figure out all this life stuff on our own. But people at all ages and stages of life seek out help and benefit from meeting with a professional counselor. In this video, I'm going to talk about the circumstances in which counseling could benefit us, where to find help, and what questions to ask a potential counselor. I'm also going to talk about what to expect in a counseling session. It's actually very common and normal for us to need help from a qualified professional to get over a hump or move through a difficult season. Counseling can help us simply enhance our outlook on life and improve how we experience our relationships. Sometimes we just can't snap out of it. We need the help from others who care, who can listen, and who can guide us to the next step. So here are a few things that might come up that could prompt you to seek help from a counseling professional. When we're really sad and can't seem to come out of it, when we're feeling anxious and it's starting to get in the way of other things we enjoy in life, when we're depressed and feeling down longer than usual, and when stress is impacting us more profoundly, it can help to talk to a neutral, experienced person who is adequately trained. A clear sign indicating we can benefit from professional counseling is when our self-care has been neglected. Maybe there have been a few days where we haven't taken a shower or have neglected other areas of our physical health. Sometimes we're just simply overwhelmed. Stress has gotten the best of us, and we're in need of healthier coping strategies. Having negative thoughts can have us feeling hopeless and spiral us into a dark, negative place. We don't have to be thinking of suicide in order to get help, but that's certainly a sign that we need help from other people, including a trained professional. Another reason that reaching out for help is important is when we've been engaging in unhealthy behaviors or using substances more than usual, and maybe feel like we're addicted. Even if we don't think we're addicted to something, when we experience negative consequences from our actions but still continue doing the behavior, we need help. When we're not performing as effectively as we used to, or know we could do a lot better, that could also be a time when we could benefit from talking to a counselor. There is often a natural increase in self-confidence and self-esteem after sharing your story with a counselor and getting personalized support. Especially if you've experienced trauma of some type, a trauma-trained therapist can help you organize and make sense of your very legitimate ways of coping to survive and the other often devastating effects of that trauma. We can also benefit from the help of a mental health professional or counselor when we feel stuck in a relationship, when we don't feel understood, and when we're trying to understand our partner's perspective and make sense of our relationship and future. When it comes to relationships, we're just kind of thrown into the fire, expecting that our feelings of love will just make all things work out and become easy. We're told that we just have to find the right person, and marriage won't be that hard. I'm here to tell you that is not the truth. Most healthy couples have conflict every week. They just know how to handle it, and they move through difficult discussions with respect and kindness. And maybe most important, they keep their relationship framed as a team of two, instead of running parallel lives and just settling or being happy that they agree on some things. If you perceive that your relationship is abusive, that is an entirely different story. You can do all the therapy work in the world, but your partner also has to operate in healthy ways in order for you to feel safe and continue in the relationship. Check out my video on emotional safety in order to really understand how to show up and be there for each other on a very foundational level. So where do we go to find help? You can go to some therapist locator sites such as psychologytoday.com, betterhelp.com, and goodtherapy.org. Some online directories will allow you to click the areas you need help. If you prefer a male or female counselor, individual, couples, or family counselor, and even select the approach you prefer they use. You can further narrow your search by cost, if you need to use insurance, location, and their level of training. You can also search therapist and counselor along with the specialized treatment you need. But sometimes the best therapy referrals come from other professionals and people that you know and trust. You might ask a medical doctor, your chiropractor, massage therapist, physical therapist, or other professionals in the health community. They've likely been asked that question before and could have some solid referral options. And then we have to decide what type of academic degree should this person have. So who can help us? Often it's someone with a master's degree in counseling that allows people to practice or obtain a license in their state. Sometimes it's a licensed professional counselor, licensed mental health counselor, licensed clinical social worker, licensed marriage and family therapist, or a PhD, someone that has a doctorate in some type of counseling discipline. These professionals are trained to listen and partner with you so you can overcome struggles such as stress, anxiety, anger, depression, and moving through other difficult issues. Trying to find a counselor can be very difficult. If you live in a rural area, you may not have a wide selection of mental health professionals from which to choose. Thankfully, online counseling is becoming more accepted. Many people have found video counseling to be almost as effective as in-person counseling. Most laws currently require counseling professionals to be licensed in the same state. Some certified coaches are able to work across state lines, but coaches are usually focused on helping you reach a goal or enhance your already stable situation rather than help you navigate mental health or serious relationship struggles. So how much training, education, and experience should your potential counselor have? There's no doubt that some newly graduated counselors can provide excellent help. It's also possible that counselors who've been in the field over 20 years actually may not provide you with a quality counseling experience. You definitely want to make sure it's a good fit between you and the counselor. It's important to have at least some contact and conversation before you sign the paperwork and begin paying their hourly fee. Many counselors will not give you a free full hour for a get-to-know-you session. Counselors are working professionals that should be fairly compensated for their time. But try to find someone who can at least give you a free 10 to 15-minute phone consultation. Have some questions ready and just try to get an idea of how comfortable you feel communicating with this person. Ask yourself, does this seem like a person that I could easily open up to? Do they have experience in the areas I need help? Do they seem kind and compassionate rather than over-promising just to get my business? Thinking about what you need help with, it's important to consider someone who has specialized advanced training in that area. Many counselors are trained in graduate degree programs to adequately help you with anxiety, depression, and talking through some areas where you feel stuck. More advanced trainings are required for therapists to adequately help you in specialized areas such as grief, addiction, personality disorders, affair recovery, obsessive compulsive disorder, eating disorders, sex therapy, and especially trauma, just to name a few. You will want to ask about their specific experience in terms of their training and what percentage of people they work with each week focusing on these specialty areas. Counselors who have written books, articles, blog posts, or have joined faculty in counseling schools or organizations may demonstrate a higher passion and competence for the profession. So once you've found someone you'd like to work with, you're likely going to take the next step to sign some paperwork. Many more counselors are allowing you to complete paperwork online. These background information forms can help the counselor get a more accurate picture of what you've been experiencing in life and what you want help with in order to provide you the best care. But it's important to know that even though you sign paperwork and meet with a counselor for the first session, that if you don't feel like it's a good fit, you don't have to go back. Although it can be quite an overwhelming process to keep shopping for a counselor when you're in pain, it's better to invest some time on the front end to make sure you're with somebody who you feel is a good fit and is qualified to help you. This is often better than meeting several sessions with a therapist and later find out you're not getting the help you need. It can actually be more overwhelming to have to tell your whole story to multiple counselors than to find the right one in the first place. Therapists can be very different in how they work. Their approach or chosen counseling model, along with their personality and communication style, all converge to hopefully give you a seamless and very helpful experience. Some approaches are more focused on thinking and behavior, whereas some focus on the deeper feelings that can drive those behaviors. Some counselors view your current problems through the lens of important attachments to other people throughout your life. Some therapists choose to ask about childhood experiences, since they can still strongly influence how we think, feel, and act today. Others may focus only on the present and be more action-focused and solution-oriented. This strategy seems attractive, but may only address the surface issues. In my experience as a counselor, the research I have come across, and the counseling approaches I use, it is being reinforced to me over and over that we must have some idea of the patterns, cycles, and tendencies that were developed in our childhood and young adult life, and even as recent as last month, in order to carefully craft a new and satisfying way of living that fits us. And we must consider our thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and our needs in order to get to the place we really want to go and stay. With so many approaches and lenses through which counselors see your struggles and offer solutions, it's important to know you can ask them to explain their approach. So as you're hearing, professionals vary in how each session can look, where they're taking you, and how you'll get there. But there are some things that should be universal when you begin meeting with a therapist. No matter how good they are or how long they've been practicing, helping professionals cannot accurately diagnose and therefore treat a problem or issue unless they have a full picture of what's going on. So, you must feel certain that they are listening to you each session. All the credentials in the world will not make a difference if you don't connect with that counselor and find them to be compassionate. So remember, we all need help at times. It can be difficult to find the right person, but if you need help moving past a struggle area, take a step to reach out and get help. I know you and your relationships will be so much better for it. Thanks for taking care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.